Heart attack, cancer, diabetes. We'd all love to avoid big killer diseases, but doctors still don't know exactly what causes them. They know it has something to do with our genes, but how much?
So this is where the DNA arrives.
Dietrich Stefan is a founder of Navigetics, which specializes in medical testing. For a fee, they'll screen your DNA and tell you your genetic risk of getting a variety of scary diseases.
We were testing an individual to provide them a snapshot of how genetically loaded they are so that they can potentially reduce their risk.
DNA is made of long chains of 4 chemicals, best known by their initials, A, C, G, and T. There's about 6 billion of these letters in the human genome. But reading every one is painstaking and expensive. So the latest tests look for things called SNPs, short for single nucleotide polymorphisms.
So a SNP is really any position in the genome where there is variation between individuals in the population.
Nearly all of our DNA is exactly the same from person to person. But there are about 3 million spots where a single letter difference will commonly show up. Each of those spots is a SNP. It's just one letter, and in most cases, we don't know exactly what it does.
You might have a C at one position, and I might have a T. We're both alive, we both have arms and legs and noses and brains and totally functional. But those subtle variations are what make you and I unique and different. But it's also what predisposes individuals subtly to these common diseases.
So which SNPs do I have? And what can they tell me about my health? To find out, the DNA I provided is squirted onto a silicon gene chip, which holds millions of tiny fragments of reference DNA to compare with mine. Wherever a strand of my DNA fits with the sample DNA, the two will link and light up, revealing exactly what letters I have in certain spots. So we're looking at my actual...
This is your actual genome. And what you can...
As represented on this chip.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. The bright white spots reveal my SNPs. Now, what Navigetics will do is compare them to the SNPs of people with certain diseases. If I have particular SNPs in common with them, then I'm more likely to get those diseases. Stefan believes that if my SNPs put me in the group more likely to get a disease, like diabetes, for example, I'll be more motivated to adjust my lifestyle and lower my risk. It's a nice idea, but will it work? For now, skeptics say these tests may be no more predictive than a good family history. But what if we could find a cheap way to read not just SNPs, but the entire genomes of many people, as they're trying to do here at Harvard Medical School?
So the Personal Genome Project is aimed at not just providing personal genomics, but actually providing the information that will help interpret it.
George Church is trying to recruit 100,000 people to donate their DNA and share intimate details about their lives, revealing not just their personal traits and medical history, but life history, environments, habits, and behavior, anything that could conceivably influence their getting or not getting a disease.
If people are willing to share not just their DNA, but their traits and their environments, then we can make correlations.
And when Church asks for your DNA, he means all of it, not just the million or so markers that most genomics companies currently screen for. Church plans to read out all of the coding regions for all 20,000 of your genes.
The value of being able to sequence everybody's genome for a reasonable amount of money and for scientific research is immeasurable. But actually have the entire sequence of all 3 billion bases of each person's DNA so you can see all the differences from one person to another. It's the holy grail. I mean, it would be amazing.
With 100,000 genomes, combined with detailed personal information, Church believes we'll have a much better chance at getting at the root causes of common diseases and figuring out how to prevent them before they strike.
The more sequence we capture in people with disease till it's complete and different numbers of people and different populations, we will, I am entirely confident, learn about disease and human biology, and we'll learn about human history. we're going to learn about ourselves.